welcome to another episode of On the Spot. I am your host, Kenny. I'm here with my two co-hosts. You know something? I want to introduce my friends into the show, but today we're going to talk about buyer's remorse. Think about this for a second, okay? Have you ever made a purchase, made an investment, or made an investment into people? And after you put all the time and effort into that investment, you realize it was just a bad choice. It's a bad decision. It was a bad decision that I made, so now it's time to make a new one, okay? So with that being said, I want to introduce my co-hosts, two of my favorite people. I'm going to bring in Lene Merle and Miss Megan Murray. Hey, ladies. How you guys doing?
Good.
How you doing?
How are you?
We're good.
Hey, y'all look good. Y'all look good. Y'all kind of
Yeah.
brighten my day up just seeing you. The big old
Aw.
smiles, big old Kool-Aid smiles, and Lene with the dimples,
I know. I
You know.
love that.
I'm going to
That's
paint
one
some
of her
on my face so I have some
beautiful
dimples. Tristan and I was talking about that. I need to get some dimples, I need something to add me some inflection to my face. So look, what do you guys think about that? I mean, put into this perspective, because it's not just about, and I was talking to Patricia, you buy a pair of shoes and all of a sudden they look good online and then you get them home and it's like, damn. And that was the only pair that had left, those in your size. The color that you wanted. As a matter of fact, kind of did that. We went shopping this weekend and I picked out some sweaters and I liked them. I got home and said, it's the wrong size. So I had to take them back. So that feeling you get when you made a bad decision, it's not really a bad decision. It was just a wrong decision, right? And I knew it was the wrong size, but I got them anyway. And I brought them home and realized, I got to make another decision. Well, think about that in the context when it comes to people. Think about that one. And you've done all you can. You've put the time in, you've done the research, you've asked the right questions. Then over time, all of a sudden now, we're in a situation where, damn. Oh, I used a D word. I'm sorry. I won't use that too much. But what do you guys think about that? After you've done all your research and everything you can, and you invested your time and emotion into that person, then you realize that it was just a bad choice. Give us an example.
It's unfortunate sometimes. That could happen with, like you said, shopping. That could happen with friendships. That could happen with becoming friends with a colleague, which might be something that you don't do. It can happen with political choices, so it's unfortunate. But I think that is like part of life, one of those things you have to accept and learn from, and it helps you be more insightful in the future and make better choices. But then you also have in these different variances where, is it that you did bad research? Is it that you weren't thorough? Or is it that you were misled? Or is it that you bought into something that you wanted it to be, but it really wasn't, and based on history that it wasn't? So you also have to kind of do your due diligence with yourself when you're having this conversation.
That's exactly where I was going to go with that. I mean, perfectly said. I think that it depends on the situation and the circumstance. And then once you go through it, what's your take on how to learn from it on the next go round? Because I mean, life is an evolving, changing thing. It will change, but it's how you learn from the change, right? Because what I've learned, I'll take my personal account, is that when you have, let's say, someone that you put a lot into, right? You think, well, dang, what did I do wrong? Or, how did I make this mistake? And, it's very easy to internalize. But I think the more healthy approach, and this is, like I said, this is my personal opinion, the healthy approach is to say, okay, what changed? Because that's something that will always happen. Things can stay the same and things can change. And more often they change, but there's always something that can stay the same. So what is it that you did good that you can leave the same? And what is it that you noticed when you notice the change? Say, okay, hey, it changed. Now I either need to accept this change or I can pivot and make another choice or decision, like you said. It's about your perspective.
That's pretty, actually, both of you guys hit on a couple of things I wanted to dive deep into. Okay, so Lene, you mentioned something about, well, let's deal with the people aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily to purchase. You know, we're making investments in people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's an interest. It starts with an interest, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
curiosity. Then that curiosity becomes an interest, right? And then all of a sudden, we're investing a little bit more time, not
Mm-hmm.
giving everything. We're not putting all our money into it right now. We're not putting all
Mm-hmm.
our time into it, but we're doing a little bit at a time, which is natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as we go through that process, because it's about gathering as much data as you can so you can make an informed decision later on down the road. But I want to focus on that one piece when you've done all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You've done all your research. And Megan kind of touched on it a little bit, but you studied this person, you got to learn that person shared stuff with you, you analyzed the information you took in, right? And then all of a sudden, damn, what happened? This is not the person who they said they were.
Mhm.
This is the imposter. Go ahead, Lene.
Yeah. So no, that's good because another thing Megan said was you have to know when to pivot. And did you pivot when you noticed a change? So in
Right.
those situations, there's a change that happens, whether it's a change in their behavior, whether it's a change in the way they're showing up. To your point, actually, when you say like we invested, okay, we didn't pay maybe money, dollars, but you're paying your
Emotional.
time,
Right.
you're emotionally vested,
Emotions.
right? And that's why people feel so hurt and drained and like you lost something because you're so vested. So
Mhm.
whether it's that you had to buy into something financially or you had to vote for something or you had to research it or you had to make time and contribute time into it, you're paying in some form.
Right.
And so I think noticing the change is key because when I think of like, say for example, I'll say in the workplace, right?
Oh.
You're a great employee, everything
Right.
is going great.
Right.
And say you've been there at your job for 7 years and you're no problems. And then all of a sudden you get called into a meeting
Right.
and something's wrong. You're like, I've been doing the same thing
Yeah.
fine for however many years.
Right.
And so do you internalize it? First, you want to self-assess, right? You want to take
Yeah.
the feedback. Did you do something wrong? And then if you see like, no, I didn't really do anything wrong, something that's required has changed, maybe you weren't notified.
Right.
Right. So noticing now, do you pivot and now meet this new requirement? Or do you
Right.
just continue on your path that you have been? Right. Or do
Yeah.
you take note also of what changed? That's one example. Now, say
Right.
relationship. Everything's great. I'll use a girl to girl relationship or friendship, right? Everything is great. Oh, actually, this person is excited to be your friend. Everything is going good.
Mhm.
And surface wise, hanging out wise, sharing, life stories, everything seems like you're on the same page. Everything is good.
Right.
Now, say something happens where that person's required to show up for you in a way that they haven't had to before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you notice they didn't.
Yeah.
And maybe you give it a pass, right?
Yeah.
And now
Which
8
we all
months go
do.
by, and eight
Yeah.
months go by, and you've had to
Right.
show up for them in various ways. And because of who you are, you just continue to, right? And you're more vested.
Yeah.
And now it's their turn to show up for you again. And they don't quite do that again.
Mm.
Do you pivot or do you continue on with this hopefulness? And because you've vested so much time and,
Right.
maybe they just couldn't at that time.
Right.
So I'll just leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you pivot
That's
or do you move
that-
forward?
So pivot or
Continuing
move
the
forward.
same path.
So let me ask you, when you say pivot, what do you mean by pivot?
It's up to you to define. Some people can pivot.
And pull back.
I'm known to be blockiana, so pivot.
Okay. All right.
It's a wrap.
Come on, bring it.
No, that's one way to pivot.
Right.
Another way is to address
Right.
it, right? Because a lot of times we
Yeah.
endure things and we don't even address it. Or change your availability and access to that person.
There. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think.
I mean, there's so
for
many
me-
more ways. Sorry, go ahead.
For me, all of that depends on how much the person means to you, or you know, if you see that you continue in that same level of dedication and they're not, you can still want to do it all you want to, but or can you accept that there's not going to be a change on their end and you're always going to be the one giving? Or do you say, you know what, I really don't want to pull back, but I'm going to, because this is going to hurt me even more. And I would say for somebody like me, that's always been a problem, because it takes me a long time to say no, because I have that, you know, oh, things just might be bad for them right now. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, she hurt my feelings, but maybe that was just a one-time thing. Or he didn't show up for me, but maybe that was just because he had too much going on. Remember I told y'all about that? That benefit of the doubt all the time? Yeah. I'm learning, and it's at this big age. I'm learning that for me, I just can't keep doing that, because I will be the last person always if I continue, and I'm going to be the one that's hurt. So now I'm learning to, you know, and then you look at that friend that's just like, oh, I can't show up for you in that moment. And they're like, oh, well, I done learned you can't do that for everybody. When it comes to self-preservation, you got to do you. Okay, well, if they feel like that, though, then that means that even when it comes to you, they're going to cut you off because it's not beneficial to them. So now you got to think, oh, well, I got to be beneficial for me, because they're not going to pull no stops waiting on me. So now you got to adjust.
So let me ask you this. Either one of you can respond to this one. So it sounds like it comes down to a thing about expectations as well. And we know that when we meet someone for the first time, or we know we're buying a product, right? There's an expectation, this is what I want, or this is what I need, right? We already know that already. That's the easy part, making that decision, that this is what I want, I'm going after it. When it comes to people, we don't always know that this is who I want, or this is who we want to be with. So we got to do a little research, right? And it takes time. So during that time, we are investing our emotions. We invest in time and emotions, and sometimes they run hand in hand, right? So as we're making those investments, and going back to what Danae was saying, we've done all we could going in. We all have done it. I've done it. Megan have done it. I know my wife has done it. Everybody has done it. We've invested time into certain situations when it came to people. Even though we see those signs, we always give them the benefit of the doubt, because nobody's perfect, right? It works both ways. But then you've done all you can. You've done it all. And now here we are. We're in this situation, and it's just, you can't get no act right. You know what I'm saying?
Or you get the wishy-washy act right, which
see, now that's confusing for me.
Behavior. And I ain't good
that's
with that
confusing
either.
for me. You know, I think I shared a story with y'all a long time ago. When I was in college, I dated this woman, and you know, I thought we had a relationship, and I had a possible job offer to go to Seattle. And I came back and asked her. I said, "What if I move to Seattle? Will we have a relationship?" She couldn't give me an answer. I was confused. I'm like, "What the hell?" So another opportunity came for me to do my final interview. I'm like, they called me back for an interview. Turned it down because I'm thinking I wouldn't have a relationship. So I stayed in DC. Instead of saying I could have been some type of big broadcaster, who knows? I don't know. But that was the job, to get a job at an AM radio station. I know I'm aging myself, but that was an AM radio station I had an opportunity with. Turned it down. So here it is. I made the decision based on it, and I don't know. And so for me, most people, I guess some people, I'm thinking everybody else can make a decision on that. I couldn't. So my decision was the wrong one. And I'm thinking, and then 9 months later, we ended up breaking up anyway. So I kind of made a statement about being Mr. Absolute at the restaurant. So, but I know y'all want to talk about that. I know you do. I know. So you can
you made a lot of statements.
I'll take. I know you got quite. What do you mean by that? But anyway, so for me, it's like, you know, I need some type of absolution when it comes to certain things. Everything else is great. My whole life is great. But when I don't have an answer to something like that, do you want this relationship or not? And you say, I don't know. I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't know? You've been here with me the whole time.
Right.
So for somebody like me,
right,
that would be the answer. I would be like,
see,
because confusion breeds chaos. And if it's not plain and clear, then it's undefined. And I'm not betting my life on the undefined. So that's an interesting perspective, right?
I like that.
If someone would have said to me, oh, well, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, I think you're going to choose you, so I should choose me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it would have interpreted to me.
Is right in the middle. It's like, I had the one where I did the whole, well, if you don't know, I'm not sure. Well, let's see. And now it's like, oh no, you don't know, then I can't know.
And I think that's why I'm a little more rigid. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, it's hard to be that way because I'm also emotional, I'm sentimental, all of those things. And I've had to cut people off, and it hurt me to cut them off.
Yes.
But I just couldn't give into it. Like, it's people that I've had to cut off, and I still wish them well. I still think about them. I still pray for them, but I just can't be in that uncertain phase on a regular basis in a friendship, right? And so, like, you're good this week, you're not good this week. I just can't do that. Either we're all in or we're not. And we're friends here, right? So by all in means we simply have each other's back. We don't have to question that. It's not wavering. And so that wishy-washy stuff, that's dangerous to me.
It very much so is. But you know what? I've noticed how valuable it is, because as my friend circle changes, you go through life, you're introduced to new people, you have your old people. What I've learned is that as the circle changes, I've been exposed to different kinds of friendships, right?
Right.
And now I can see the difference in that chaotic, wavering friendship, and then you're like, compared to this, to that, like that. Wait, is that really a friendship though? Because it's not supposed to go like that. Are we? What are we talking about here? So I have learned that yes, there are those people who don't think like you. And you do have to give them a pass, because nobody is going to be perfect and nobody's going to be like you. But how much hurt are you really enduring that you want to, or that you're signing up for? And with the friendship that has no, let me see, the friendship that has the less amount of transparency, right? You have to question everything. When you have the friendship that you can go to this person and feel comfortable, discussing, talking anything about anything with them, it seems more, just more of a safe place. Okay. And you lean into that.
Kenny, before you ask the question,
go ahead.
I have a question for you. So in friendships, what do you look for?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's easy. Just like me. No, I'm just kidding.
Just like me.
No, that's important. Well, see, my expectations in friendship is, wow, that's a good question. I wasn't prepared for it. You put me on the spot. Just put me on the spot, y'all. Okay. What I expect, it's funny because, wow, I expect a certain level of loyalty because mine is undying, right? Now, do I expect somebody to be as loyal to me as I am to them? No, I don't, because I don't know if mine can even be defined or measured. It's very deep, right? Once I decide, but I have to decide. And once I make that decision, it's like, it's sometimes blind. It has been, right? And I'll hold on to people that I shouldn't. I will cling and stay. I might be at a distance with them, but in my mind, in my heart, I'm still attached. Right. I just had a bad situation with a close friend I've known for over 30 years. And Patricia know about this one, where it went a whole different direction when I announced that I was in a relationship with someone. So it just went completely sour. But deep down in my heart, I still want to reach out to this person. I don't want to touch him. I want to not hold him like that, but at least touch him verbally and say, hey, I'm still here. I'm still a friend. I know whatever happened then, we're adults now, let's have a conversation. So, and I've done that with people who've really done me wrong. And you talk to my wife, she'll tell you, Kenny, why are you still reaching out to them folks? Why? Just leave it alone. I've done that with some people, Megan's people, you and I both know. I've reached out, tried to hold on to those people. So how do I define friendship? I expect loyalty to a certain degree. I expect 100% open communication. I'm not saying you got to tell me all your business. That's not what I'm saying. If it pertains to our friendship, just tell me. I'd rather know, even if I don't want to hear it. I need to know. I need to know where you stand. I need to know what your thoughts are. And, let that be a lesson for real. This is real. I may not want to hear it, but make me hear it. I'm not saying force me, don't push me, don't kick me. I don't want you to have to do all that. But say, Kenny, we need to have a conversation. I'm gonna be scared as hell, but I'm gonna have the conversation. I'm gonna make the time to have the conversation more sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say you got to have a conversation with me, we need to talk. Okay, I need to move some stuff around because we need to have this conversation because I want it. So that's what I expect.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Back to you. How do you?
Me?
Yes.
I think transparency, commitment to the friendship.
Yeah.
Communication, which that changes based on our lives, what we have going on.
Right.
It's really important for me not to have to question your commitment. And by commitment, meaning if I ever really need you to show up, I'm really going to need you to show up because it's really rare that I'm asking someone to show up.
Right.
So I think for me, as a person who finds it really hard to ask, if I ask and that's like a problem, that's a problem for me. Unless you got something major going on, you know what I mean? Or personal, but somebody just being like, no, no, that's a problem for me. So I've actually had a friendship where I was in prayer for months, and God just was like, no, I don't give you the okay to move forward. No. And so, of course, loyalty, but that looks different, right? As adults, like, what does that mean? How do we quantify that? So obviously we're not kids like talking behind each other's backs and all that. If I even have to worry about that type of stuff, you can just forget it.
Yeah.
Right. Like just forget it. So commitment to the friendship, communication, transparency, a safe place, of course. There's going to be things that sometimes people might feel like, oh, I didn't think I could talk to you about that, just because they don't know, or they might not think you could empathize or understand. But it's important for me to give that to friends, and it's important to have that back and a sense of community in your friendship.
Yeah, I like that. Megan, back at you on the spot.
Loyalty. That's a big thing for me. I'm always going to be loyal no matter what. So I would like that in return. That's probably number one. Number two is going to be, and I've said this, and the crazy part is most of the time when I really get close to somebody, I always give this as a disclaimer. Somehow it never happens. But if there is a problem, nobody's perfect. That does in any relationship, nobody's perfect. If something happens that you are offended, or maybe I mistook something that you weren't happy with, or it gives you cause to be upset with me, talk to me. Tell me about it. I do not like to have a friendship where things linger and then you get to the point where you don't want to, disclose stuff, or that passive. I can't do that. Please just tell me up front so I can, because and vice versa, like I should feel comfortable enough to say, hey, you kind of hurt my feelings. The minute that I don't feel like I can say that to you, I know it's a problem.
Yeah.
If I can add one more piece to that question, Lene, my other thing, accountability. So I expect the people I know to be accountable. Perfect example. If I feel that I've wronged anyone, I'm the first one to come and apologize. I've always been this way. And sometimes I've apologized for things I wasn't wrong for, just for the sake of peace, right? I just want to look. I'm sorry, whatever part I played in this, I am wrong. I was dead wrong. I apologize for it. I'm asking for your forgiveness. So I kind of expect that in others as well, because we all tend to trespass on people. Sometimes we're aware and sometimes we're not. And I would expect, and you mentioned the thing about transparency, come and tell me. Tell me I trespassed. Tell me I did something wrong. I don't want to hear it. I might not be in the mood for it, but I need to hear it. Because at some point, I'm going to process what you just said. And I'm like, well, if I value you as a friend, I got to consider everything you just said.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, must really hurt her or him or whoever it was. So I may not see it all. You might not express all that in your conversation with me, but a part of me is going to feel that way. Like, I was really, really tore this person up about something I did, an action that I did. So I need to find a way to mend this, at least put them at some level of ease about how I felt about it because you brought it to my attention. You know, my ego's not that big to where I'm going to always think, I don't think I'm that type of narcissist, right? It's not like, well, it's never wrong unless it happens to me. No,
Right.
it does happen to me, and it does happen to other people too, and I got to accept that as well. Sometimes I'm trespassing. So I think that, you know, being accountable is a huge piece for me.
Right.
It's pretty good, you
Also,
guys.
also,
Yeah.
I don't really like, I don't, like I said, I don't like passive aggressive, and I'm not trying to force anything. So if you don't want to, or you want to discontinue something, that's great. But I'm the type of person where I gotta know. I like to know. It gives me a sense, because if you tell me and you're straight up, it can only go two ways. I can either
Right.
say I apologize, and if you don't want to, at least I know what it was and what the issue was, and I can move on from that. Or if you don't want to and you can tell me, then I can shut it down on my end, because I'm like, if that's what it was, oh, that wasn't my problem. Okay, you go ahead and go. But I hate not knowing. I'm one of those people like, I gotta know.
Oh,
So you're like
and
me.
see, I'm such a processor,
Right.
right? So
Right.
something might offend me, and I might be like, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I'm more on the sensitive side.
Right.
Maybe it might take me a minute to communicate it." So I had someone say,
Yeah.
"Well, it was a month, and last time we saw each other, you was like, seemed like everything was fine." I was like, "Well, I'm always just gonna be a kind, nice person. I don't treat you bad because you did something to hurt me or whatever." So that's a challenge, because I don't just switch off being nice and nasty because I don't want to be nasty. So I struggle with maybe that kind of timeline and like tell you right now, because I might be like,
Yeah, it might take a minute.
it'll take me a minute. So I've had somebody tell me I was passive aggressive, and I was like, oh, okay.
A New Yorker, passive aggressive. That's odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I
not
was
saying it doesn't
confused.
happen,
Everyone
but-
has their own opinions. It was the only time
Yeah.
I've ever heard it, but that person is
Yeah.
kind of passive aggressive themselves. So go figure.
But aren't we different with other? We are different with other people, because with some people we might be for the sake of peace. Sometimes I'm just not
Yeah,
going
I
to say what's
think
really on my
that-
mind because this person gonna fly out. I ain't really ready to deal with that right now. So I get that.
I have like,
Yeah.
I know people that their personalities, it don't really mesh well with mine, but it's a personality that I have to deal with for the reasons that I have to deal with it. So that's not someone
So
that
you
I'm
bite your
gonna, it'd be bleeding.
tongue.
My tongue be bleeding. Yeah, so that answer that. Yeah, just
We got to, right?
Huh?
All right. So Megan, tell us the time when you were passive aggressive.
Me, I'm not passive aggressive.
You've never been passive aggressive that you can remember?
No.
Okay.
If
All
I
right.
feel like you hurt my feelings, I'm gonna say it right then and there. And if I didn't get a chance, I'll say the only way I could have been
Right.
passive aggressive is if we were in an environment where it wasn't the right time to talk about it.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
I'll
So
just
you
kind of
gotta just kind of be
But what
quiet.
makes
I'll kind
the
of
aggressive
move
part?
through,
I don't
and
get
I'll
it.
be like, well, because you can be in the same environment, but what if you're with a group of friends and you notice
Right.
that this person is
It ain't none of their
acting
business.
a
Right.
type of way? I'm
Right.
not going to ruin the whole mood of because I'm being me and put
Right.
I don't want to press my issue on other people. So
Gotcha.
then I would have to be pushed to a passive aggressive moment, because
Right.
it's like, okay, I see it and I notice it. My personality is say, hey, what's up? What's wrong? What's going on? Now, I see it. What's happening? But now I have to, they're already being passive aggressive with me, but now I have to kind of just, tone it down, because I'm not going to ruin someone else's moment.
Right.
With my issue.
Okay. So
So-
like having to hold back
Hold it.
even though you want to say
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
So it's funny because I mean I'm like you, Megan, and now that we know our sister needs to process, we know how to respond to her.
we know
Right.
now. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
You knew that
Kind
already,
of sensed it
Kiki.
before, but you submitted
We
it
were in
now.
a meeting and I took like 30 minutes there.
Yeah. Well, I have noticed
Okay.
that about you, Megan. You have to. I mean, not Megan, Lene. You have to process stuff, and
I'm naturally, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I had to pull back. Where me, it's like I got to dump it once I get it off my chest. it's not mine anymore. You know what I mean? So if it's something that needs to be said, I'm like Megan. If I got to say it, I'm going to say it. But there's that timeline. When do you do it?
Yeah.
You know, is this the right time? The other people around? Is this the right environment for it? Because I mean, I can honestly say it. I'm probably passive aggressive every day at work because there's a couple of people I want to hit in the mouth. I want to hit them in the throat. I really do. It's not that bad, but there are a couple of people I want to hit them in the throat, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth me going to jail over something stupid, over something they might have done that's totally immature, right?
Right.
So I want to talk about recovering from that buyer's remorse for a second. I'm gonna make this quick because I know we've run out of time, but I want to make this quick. So how do you recover? Let's start with you, Megan. You know, you made a bad decision. Well, you made a decision. It wasn't good. I ain't gonna say you made a bad decision, but now you realize that, damn, I'd invested too much of my everything into this. What do you do now? On the spot.
Ooh. The old me.
On the spot.
The old
on
me.
This friendship question, the expectation of friendship.
I'm gonna let y'all imagine.
Okay.
A phoenix. And leave it there.
If you buck.
Everybody getting butter up. The old me. Yeah, no, we cutting off. Everybody getting cussed out, put out, packed up, shit outside, Old me. New me, same occurrence, only without the outward
emotion
burn. It's an inside chest move, calculated, prepared step to eliminate you from my life and me as much as possible. And then now on the inside over here, I'm dying on the inside, I'm crying on the inside, and I'm sad, and I will kind of become a recluse for a minute. I'll just basically, y'all won't see me for like 3 or 4 months.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
no, we can't do that. No.
Yeah, I just
you better tell me.
Not
you better tell me.
In person, but I mean,
right.
I'm already doing it. Like
her address is in the group chat, right?
Right.
You're not even gonna get away with that.
No, like my closest people do see me, but the immediates that I have to live my life with, but the other people, they haven't heard from me. And also that's kind of how I weed out. If you really calling and checking on me, or then I know you care.
Oh, so you're not trusting them.
And all the people that are falling away, then I just let them.
So Lene, I'm back to question, but I'm gonna reframe the question a little bit for you. After you didn't taken 3 months to process it, right? How do you respond to that buyer's remorse? After that choice you made, you invested all your stuff into this person. We're talking about people now, right?
Yeah.
How do you process that?
So, I'm a big prayer. So I go in, I'm in prayer. That's where it takes me a bit longer, right? Because I really don't want to be mistreating people or holding people to a standard that it's not even realistic, right? And so we all do make mistakes, but it just depends on what it is. Typically, we could get past most stuff. It's when it's a character thing and your character doesn't align with who I am and where I am in my life, and when I put it up against just my inner circle. And I don't have those. I have associates, but if you were already in that friend box, to go to an associate, it can't be that big of a transgression.
Okay.
Right? Because then I can just distance myself from you. So it's a decision of, you could transition to an associate and have that limited access, or you just out the picture.
That's pretty good.
So
now you just actually brought up something that's going to be the topic of our next show. So let that be a segue. Let's talk about, God, you just said it. I just forgot it. I didn't forget it. Okay. So I think we should open it up and have a discussion about character and behavior. I think what's the difference, and how do we describe both when it comes to people we associate with? Okay. So that can be a topic of our next show. So with that being said, I want to thank both of my sisters, both Lene and Megan, for being a part of this. I want to thank Patricia in the background. You guys can't see her, but we can. For helping us keep this thing running with all the electronics and data she's back there pushing buttons with. want to thank you guys for joining on the spot, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.